cradle modem that, well, it's all very technical.
And now back to the Big Dumb Fun Show.
Back on the Big Dumb Fun Show. Thanks for hanging out with us Mondays, 7 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to post up these segments from the show, like with Phil Swill.
Only the good ones.
Sports with a guy named Chris.
Only the good ones.
Only the good ones.
So we may have like 3 segments this week.
If we're lucky.
If we're lucky. This is the time with Rena would probably do her Entertainment 10 report. So on Rena's behalf, I decided I should get into this. I should delve in
to the entertainment world.
That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you. Can I get a different camera angle? The Entertainment 10 report. I'm Rena Meta. Thanks for stopping by. Did you know Jenny McCarthy posing nude for Playboy?
Still hot.
For the 7th time. She's 37 years old.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's older than you like him, though.
I'm not saying I don't like them that old.
Once they crack 20, they're almost out of your ballpark.
No. Once they crack 30, they're out of my ballpark.
Then you're at, so Jenny McCarthy still would not get a nod from the Silver Fox.
Now, I would give her a nod.
You give her a nod?
I'd give her the Anderson Cooper 180.
She ain't the Marion kind, though, is what you're saying.
Can I change my name to Aaron Cooper 180?
Aaron Cooper 180. So Jenny McCarthy, the pictures have been published online. I haven't even tried to look at them, but I know really that they're out there. I'm not going to look at them because I think it's ridiculous that now she keeps doing it.
If she did this and it was 50 Shades of Jennifer McCarthy, would you look at that?
Well, if it's more of a love story,
yeah. If it's a love story,
it's
a love story. You love to look at that.
I would do that if there was an artistic reasoning.
If there was
behind
like a story, a whole
if there was a story, a backstory, maybe some exposition.
A story. Maybe her car broke down.
Who knows?
There she is on the side of the road, and she decides to get naked. I
can't control that.
I have not seen the pictorial. I don't know what. Maybe they put her on a jet ski.
Maybe she's at the lake. Maybe when she goes down to the lake, sometimes it's very quick.
Yeah. when she likes it clean.
Here's what I like about Rena is that she's so innocent. She has no idea.
Like
she says stuff like that, but then I think she kind of had a little
like she got it after.
She's like, what are you getting at? You're a bunch of sick bastards.
I think what we got at was that she spends a lot of time cleaning before she goes down.
And when she does go down,
it's
very quick.
It's quick.
Because a lake trip can't be that long.
But that might not be her.
That's true. It may not be her style.
It may not be her at all, Sometimes
you know what we didn't ask her? We didn't ask her about her
sometimes
hair.
When you do the laundry, there's only one load to get done. That's what I'm saying.
I think I don't think you're talking about laundry.
I'm totally talking about laundry.
Moving right along in Rena Meta's Entertainment 10 Entertainment Report. I'm Rena Meta.
Notice I didn't pull up the soundbite. What about the wiener?
So the Amazing Spider-Man. It's trying to do a quick franchise reboot.
Didn't they just come out with a Spider-Man?
Here's the deal. I am going to go out there on a prediction, and I am going to say this is going to be an absolute flop. Now, the guy that plays Spider-Man...
Not Tobey Maguire.
...is not Tobey Maguire, but granted, I wasn't a huge Tobey fan, and this guy, if he was the first Spider-Man, I think it would have been better. But he's not... The Spider-Man has been done. It's been rebooted. You can't reboot and reboot.
Is Willem Dafoe in it?
No.
So they're just rebooting everybody.
Emma Stone plays not Mary Jane.
I mean, this is like a Dick
Who even knows what her name is? It's not Mary Jane.
Oh, it's not. So she's not even going to play the character she played in the previous movies.
No, she didn't play.
See, they're not even using the same people.
No.
Not at all. They're like, hey, this is a whole new Spider-Man.
This is the Amazing Spider-Man. This is a brand new Spider-Man trying to reboot the series, and I think it's going to be a flop. And even the director came out and he's like, the director's Mark Webb. He's like, we're not trying to make a lot of money with this.
A couple $100 million would be nice.
Like he's already setting himself up. Like he's like, we're not trying to just make a ton of cash off of this. We're just trying to, reboot the franchise. Like he's already setting himself up. He's like this is gonna suck.
This is just not gonna do that well in the box office.
Magic Mike and Medea's Witness Protection, #1 and #2 at the box office. Amazing Spider-Man, I say maybe cracks the top 5 on opening day.
Do you think that people going to Medea are telling people they're actually going to a book club meeting?
They should be embarrassed. They should be embarrassed to go to see.
Is this number 6?
To go see Medea.
Is this the number 6 Medea?
I
was at the video store and they had like a comic section. Half of it was Medea movies.
You know what? Medea, I don't want to hear any crap from black people about Ernest movies because I loved Ernest Goes to Jail, Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Scared Stupid, and my favorite, Ernest Saves Christmas. I don't want to hear any crap about that because you have your own Ernest now. You've got Medea. So I don't want to hear any crap.
I don't think Ernest is the same as Medea.
Ernest is the same as Medea.
Ernest never dressed up as a woman.
Nobody had Vern there. He had Vern, and he did dress up as a woman when he had the neck brace on and he talked like this. You remember that?
Yeah, how well did that movie do?
It went great, enough to make 5 or 6 Ernest movies.
Yeah,
Come
now,
on.
you know, when you get them on DVD, now they're all together in one DVD.
Gunnar, you're interrupting the Entertainment 10 report.
You're just
I
saying.
really don't like getting sidetracked like that. I'm focused on the report, and I don't want that to happen. So, Amazing Spider-Man, trying to get rebooted this summer.
Not going to be so amazing.
It's not going to be amazing. However, here are a couple of reboots that actually worked. The Dark Knight. Then again, it was rebooted like a decade after they stopped making the crappy Batman.
Yeah.
The Crapman movies. They finished. And then now there's the Dark Knight, and what I love about Christopher Nolan,
he's calling it Batman. The Dark Knight.
Yeah, they're not even calling it Batman. Like I like the first 2. I don't think I'm going to like the third one. But at least he's like, you know what? It's 3 and done. I'm not doing it anymore.
Unless they give him a fat stack of cash.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes did well.
Are they doing another reboot of the Planet of the Apes?
Well, they did the one with Mark Wahlberg, and I think that did okay. And then they did the Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and I think that did okay too. Well, obviously it did because it made the list. The original Star Trek, the motion picture, that was rebooted in 2009, of which I like that Star Trek better than probably 90% of the older Star Trek movies. I think that...
See, I'm a classic Star Trek fan, so all this stuff
J.J. Abrams did a great job. Did you even watch this
McCoy
one?
and Scotty, those are the real Star Treks. Like this new thing.
Did you watch it?
Spock is gay.
Did you watch it? You didn't even watch it.
The new one?
Yes.
They were like kids driving that starship.
Exactly.
They shouldn't
it's
even
supposed
have
to be from the
Academy. They needed like a learner's permit. They should have been on a smaller ship.
You didn't even watch it. You're making fun of a movie you didn't even watch. Go to the Red Box and rent the new Star Trek reboot. It's actually pretty good. It is. It's actually pretty good. Some reboots that failed with Superman. Ugh. Man, that was just a travesty of a movie. That was really bad. And you know what? Who could have saved the movie was Kevin Spacey. He couldn't even save that movie. The Hulk, right? They rebooted that, and it failed with Eric Bana. And then they rebooted again with Ed Norton, and it did well. So that was kind of a weird reboot of a reboot. And then they go into Avengers, and now they got Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, it's not even Edward Norton.
Very odd.
He wanted too much money, I bet.
Yeah, it was very, very weird. And then we have the Nightmare on Elm Street. They tried to reboot that. And I think anytime you take such an iconic character like Freddy Krueger and you don't use the same actor, I mean, it just wasn't the same movie. Not having Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. However, I thought, and I may be alone, I thought that Freddy vs. Jason was actually a pretty decent movie. Like, people have wanted that for the longest time. Freddy vs. Jason. And they actually came up with it, and it wasn't too bad.
I never saw that one either.
Go to the Red Box, get Freddy vs. Jason, and get Star Trek. I think you might be put on a list somewhere, getting both of the movies together. But go get it. I think they're pretty decent. And then come back, and we'll have like a book club meeting. We'll see what you think about it.
And I'll say
it could be a reoccurring segment on the show, or like old movies that Gunnar gives his review.
I've got a couple on the desk over there. One of them was The Mighty Wind, which was loaned to me by the bartender from Kelly's. Good movie. It's a great movie. Very funny.
Lastly, Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes are getting a divorce. Nobody cares. My name is Rena Meta, and that is the Entertainment 10 Report tonight on the Big Dumb Fun Show. Hey, big thanks to Phil Swill from the band called, what was that again?
Swill.
And thanks to him coming out. He's got a big show coming up in August at Aftershock. It's Collapse Fest. It's going to be crazy. He may show up before that Monday during our interview with Collapse. So next week, we've got Rocker Lips and Alice Sweet Alice on the Big Dumb Fun Show. Tune in. Until then, we'll see ya!